watching the Jenny Lynn Show, and I am Jenny Lynn Gleave, your host. And today my guest is Pastor Herman Lukwago, and he came all the way from Uganda to visit California. And he has such an inspiring story that I couldn't very well let him leave and not share it with us. Pastor, thank you so much for taking time off to come and share your story with us.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You know, I've heard a little bit of your story before,
Yes.
and I was so fascinated with that little bit
Yes.
that I wanted to hear more. So as much as we can, I'd love to hear how your life got started and how you got to where you are today. So why don't we start with you as a little boy growing up in Uganda?
Okay, first of all, I want to say hello, viewers. My name is Herman Lukwago. 35 years ago, I was born 2 hours in a village 2 hours west of Kampala, Uganda. Uganda is a landlocked country. We are in the East African region. We have 3 countries neighboring Uganda. We have Kenya and then Tanzania as our neighbors. So Uganda has 34 million people.
Really?
Yes,
That's a lot.
And it's always summer in Uganda. We have rain. Rain can come now and then sunshine later. So it's a beautiful country. So I was born. My dad had 25 children. I have technically seen 23. I was told of the 2 that we have not made. My mom had 9 of the 25 children. We were together in one room. My mom was the main mother at the house. So my dad had all the other kids from other mothers. And
Can I interrupt for a minute?
yes.
Did all 25 children live with your mother?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
They lived with their mothers and they could come in.
How many
once in
lived
a-
with your mother?
9. For us, we lived with my mother. Yes.
And did your father live with you?
He was off and on. He was always gone.
How does a single mother in Uganda raise 9 children by herself?
My mom, many years ago, the custom was the girls would go to school.
Yes.
The guys would go to school. The girls would do more, be prepared more to be mothers and
Okay.
take care of the homesteads. Now it's changing. More girls are going to school. So my mom worked on the farm. She was a peasant. She grew crops and she took us with her to farm. She didn't always have enough, but she was a lion. She went on and she worked so hard. Yes.
So how old is she still living in Uganda?
My mother died.
Your mother
Yes,
died.
Yes.
At what age did she die?
She died. She was pretty young when she died. She was like 46.
How old were you when she died?
I think I was around 12.
And what number are you in the
I'm
line
number
of?
2.
You're number 2.
Yeah.
So you helped to raise your siblings after
Yes.
she passed.
Yes, I had to raise my siblings when
And
she
what
passed.
and what about your father? Where is he?
My father passed on. Actually, he died fast. He died of HIV/AIDS, and my mom died of cervical cancer. So,
Oh, I'm sorry. So they're
Yeah.
both gone.
yeah.
So tell me, your father and your mother are both gone,
Yeah.
and your mother left when you were pretty young, and she
Yeah.
was the one raising you.
Yeah.
What happened with you 9? What happens to a family of 9 kids in
So-
Africa when the parents aren't there anymore?
So our home became a child-headed home.
A what?
Child-headed home.
Oh, so
the
you a
kids
child?
took care of kids.
Okay.
So me and my little brother who follows me, we found a job to pick coffee. We went into a coffee factory. We could walk maybe 5 miles to a coffee factory, so we could pick coffee beans in a factory near to our village to be able to bring supplies. We would fetch water also in the village, and but I did it there a short while, like 2 years. Then I moved to Kampala when I was around 14.
Right.
And there I lived in a slum area there, and I didn't have a place to stay. It was kind of hard looked at relatives and places. So I finally moved to a place called Social Center. It was a place that housed widows of UPDF and orphans and so many people. So I found my way in, and my aunt was working in the UPDF before, so I could have access to the place.
Yes.
So I found an abandoned bathroom, toilet house. That's where I used to live.
You lived in an abandoned bathroom?
Yes, that's where I lived for the next maybe 5 years.
You slept in there?
Yeah, I slept in there. They were not using it. And from there, I would go into the community and ask people if they had laundry so I could wash for them. So many people didn't have washing machines there. Or I could fetch water. Not many homes had running water to them, and so that's how I managed to be able to survive then. But when I got supplies, I could take to my siblings. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
When I make some little money, I buy a little soap, keep in the corner of the room. The end of the month, send back home to the village. And then there was an opportunity to go to school. There's an American missionary who started a school there. It was called Eagles Nest Secondary School. So I joined that school. We paid little money, very little money then, so I could afford to raise that.
Yes.
And but every Friday night, every Friday evening, they did something called the flag ceremony. And at the flag ceremony, we said the allegiance to the flag, just like you do it in America. I've seen
Yes.
it. And the end, we would have somebody preach from the Bible. So one Friday night, we had a visiting guest who said a story that so resonated with me. He said he was birthed by a teenage mom abandoned in a hospital and then raised in an orphanage. But when he grew up around teenage, he ran on the street and he was rebellious, he was knifing people, but that's where somebody shared Christ with him. And then that transformed him, and he said he found a father to the fatherless. So that thing caught my attention. I said, I want to know this father. He says, I want to introduce you to a father who cares, who loves you. And I thought this would be fun to know a father. So he said it's very simple. It's through a relationship through Jesus Christ. At the end of the meeting, you just come forward and we say that prayer. That's it. So that's how I give my life to Christ. That's how I start walking with God. And that's when I start ministry, really. Because the next Saturday, I did not wait. I joined the church choir. I was there, and the church became my family. They would serve meals after service, and that was great. So
because you got to eat.
There would be a free meal. Now, then the ministry grew on. In 1997, we had a youth camp.
Yeah.
And then we were challenged to share Christ where the Christ we've received, so we would think where we should share. So close your eyes as we pray, think about where you want to go. And then my neighbor, he's now a pastor, Pastor John Mugabe. He said, I go to the prison. Do you want to go with me? I said, sure, let's go. We were so little, we had issues getting permissions to go there, but my friend was really courageous, and we started going in there. I spoke my first message there. I only knew one verse, John 3:16. And so we prayed under a mango tree in the prison compound. So they would send us all the men, and we lead praise and worship, and then we will speak from the Bible. So little did I know that it had begun there. So when we visited the women prisons, we found mothers with their children there, their kids there. And then, but in my heart, I desired to be able to give an opportunity to children that have grown up like I did. So I said, oh, I think this is an opportunity. So I went back to church, mobilized my church, and we started, in different Christians, we started bringing supplies to the prisons, formula and clothing. So that's
Where did you get the supplies to take? Because last time you talked, you were working and doing laundry and picking coffee beans so you can get money to help your siblings.
Yeah. So now I go to my church. I tell them
the church.
there are people there. Can we help? So, and different people who would come in contact with me, I would tell them what we are doing, and that's how it is started.
What age are you at this point of the?
Right now?
No, when you joined
when
the
we
church.
started, it's 17.
So at 17, you went from living in a bathroom to taking food for people. In
but I'm still in that bathroom room. By the way, by the time I'm doing that.
Oh, you're still living in the bathroom.
That's where I stay. That's where I live. And in 1998, there was an opportunity also to go to Bible school. There was an American missionary, a group of them had started an extension Bible school from Maryland, Baltimore, and it was free.
Yes.
They were giving 4-year degrees, but you had to take credits. But I had to do more years because I had to work. So my degree, I think it took maybe 6 years to get enough credits to graduate. So I did 1998, and I graduated in 2004 May. And that's when, yes, with my bachelor's degree in theology.
Congratulations! Yes. Oh, your story is so inspiring.
Yes,
and I mean, when I hear someone like you share a story like this, I think no one really has an excuse not to make a success of their life living here.
Yes, and now my goal in life now is to be able to impact lives, to change lives, not to whine about how I grew up and how miserable it's been. I want to use it as a stepping stone to greatness.
Woohoo! That's impressive.
And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I don't care how hard it is, and I keep looking up because God loves me.
So how did God change all of this? Looking back, how would you tell someone introducing bringing God into your life change your circumstances and your situation?
Number one, God brought in family.
Okay.
He brought in family. The church became my family. I was mentored. God kind of put all the little puzzles together. It wasn't a bigger picture so clear all at once, but little by little. I am in Bible school. By the way, at Bible college, that's when I met Anne, my wife. So we dated together in Bible school. And we got married in December 2005, a year after I graduated, December 4th.
Great.
So we'll be 9 years this December.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes. Yeah.
And do you have children?
Yeah, we have 3 amazing children. We have Annabella. She's 7. She wants to be a pilot. And Adoniah is 4. He said he wants to be a president.
Good for him.
And Abigail is 3. Abigail thinks I flew here in an helicopter. So I tried to ask, I told her, Daddy, are you in a helicopter? Because our president flies in a helicopter. So she knows. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, so knowing God, really, that was the turning point. It's changed perspectives. I knew that somebody loved me, somebody cared for me. I knew that I had price, that my situation does not define me, that my identity is not what I have gone through. No. My identity depends on God and the Creator, who has a great plan. In Jeremiah 29:11, he says he has a great plan. Plan not to hurt me, but a plan to prosper me.
Right.
Yes.
So what happened to all of your siblings? Where are they now? Are they all Christians as well?
So when I graduated, when I was doing Bible school, by the way, when I was doing Bible school, I changed work. I became a security guard.
Okay.
So when I became a security guard, things started changing. I brought one of my siblings to town, and I was with him, and then I brought another, and now 2 of them are graduating. One is graduated with
They're not living in the bathroom with you, though, right?
No, I paid the price. They live good.
Oh, good.
Yes, they live good.
That's so great.
Yes, they don't even know what it means not to have breakfast. Yeah, they don't know, because I paid by the grace of God. So
God
my
bless
brothers,
you.
2 of them have graduated. Charles is graduating in November, and one of them, Richard, has graduated and graduated last year, and then I have one in university, and then I have 2 in the university actually. Colin loves basketball, is doing high school, and Claire is our little sister. She sings with a choir. She goes around the world. There's a children's choir.
I'm blown away by
Yes.
what you're telling me.
Yes. Yeah.
So you are essentially a parent to 8
Yes,
siblings
yes.
and 3 children of your own.
Yes, I had to grow up be above my years. Yeah. Yeah.
I am so privileged
Yeah.
to be sitting here with
Yeah.
you. I really feel
Yeah.
that I'm blessed because I have complained about things in my life, and I'm hearing you pick beans, wash clothes, lived in a bathroom, and you are parenting
Yeah.
all these kids.
And I had another job, a security guard with a bow and arrow. And I had a guardmate who was a dog.
Yes.
My boss had a dog. And part of my job description was to wash him, to shampoo him once a week. And he had a most elegant towel. And one of the most difficult points during that journey was that point, because I saw this dog get so much care. And I'm not an animal hater, but from home we have dogs, but they don't get that treatment like that. So I had to wash him. He had a bed, he had everything, and I said, you know, and he was my we were doing the same job to God, but so but coming here I see it is different.
Dogs get treated just like
they get treated. My friend was telling me about a friend who has their dog have chemotherapy. In my country, it is not many people who have cancer have access to chemotherapy.
And in America, dogs are getting chemotherapy.
Yeah, they are, and people are paying quite a bit to have that done. So.
See, the world is vast. And
the
very
world is different. Yeah, the world is different.
Yes.
Yes.
So you are obviously someone who is very, I would say, industrious and determined and tenacious, and you've turned your family around.
Wow,
you really
thank you.
have. And all of your siblings, it sounds like they're all doing something remarkable
Yeah, they are.
with their lives.
Yeah.
They're obviously trying to keep up with their role model.
Yeah.
So the youngest child, your youngest sibling,
Yeah.
how old is that person?
I think Claire, I think she's 13 now.
Okay.
My mother didn't give birth to her. It was another mother, but it's from my father. So her mother gave birth to 2 kids.
Yeah.
One died of HIV/AIDS. It was fully blown HIV/AIDS.
Oh, I'm
So she
sorry.
followed, but the doctors were able to deliver her safely. So I loved her so much. And when we were going through this, I got Claire and my other brother and took them to another pastor who has an orphanage, who helped me raise them for me.
Oh, you're going to make me cry.
Yeah, so, and now he has a children's choir called Watoto, children's choir, and my sister has been singing with them. The choir sings and raise funds for them. So they're doing great work down there too. Yeah.
So we're halfway gone on our time, and I want to find out, apart from all that you've done raising your siblings and your own children, I understand now that you have a ministry.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
First of all, in 2009, after praying with my wife is a teacher. She's a child development specialist. We decided to start a school. We started as a play center. Now we have 156 kids at our school.
Yes.
At a village we call the charity for the children care. It's called Tega Child Development Care Center. The Tega is the name of the village. And then the school itself is Golden Hearts Junior School. At the school we invite all other kids from the community to come as a sustainability plan.
Right.
We want to build it so well so that kids, parents who could pay can bring kids there, so that we can be able to pay teachers, we can pay bills and salaries. So children as my core ministry, but also I'm a pastor of Living Grace Ministries, Uganda.
Yes.
So we have a church there, and folks come out on Sunday morning to worship. We are training in a Bible school. We have a women's ministry. We are reaching out to kids with HIV/AIDS. Right now we have 2 in our care.
How are you able to take care of them? Because it's very expensive, the medication, isn't it?
Yeah, we have in Uganda the Bill Gates and Melinda Foundation. They built an HIV/AIDS pediatric center.
Okay.
So we take the kids once a month to this place.
How many of these kids are you able to save? Because it's been pretty terminal when you get to your country, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard. You can only do so much,
right?
Because just statistics shows that only 2.5 million orphans are attributed to HIV/AIDS.
You think they're born with it?
Yeah. And when the doctors know that the mother has HIV/AIDS, they know in time they are able to deliver a safe baby. So that's why I have my sister with me.
Yeah, but I mean, if they have it, you can deliver a safe baby, but the baby is born with the disease in their system, right?
No, they save the baby without the disease.
Really?
Yeah, we have a baby that was just adopted. A lady that was taking care of a care mother at a school and orphanage died giving birth, and she had fully blown AIDS.
Okay.
And she left behind a 9-day-old baby. We checked, the baby is safe, and she's been adopted.
Oh,
yes, we gave her up to adoption.
So is that the disease that plagues the community the most? AIDS, HIV.
You have HIV/AIDS, and malaria kills children too.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just talking about malaria because I grew up in the tropics also, and I know the female Anopheles mosquito spreads that.
Yes.
So which one do you think, which disease you think you have more of a problem with?
HIV is it attacks older people and adults who understand.
Yes.
But malaria, mosquitoes bit the child, bit anybody. Malaria is bad.
So your church, the building, the actual structure.
Yeah.
Who built it?
It's not actually. It's just I did.
You built it?
Yeah, we did with the men. We have poles and tops around it, and I put tins on top. And if you could see the pictures, we are trying to brick in the tubs. So we will build a brick wall, and replace the tubs slowly. Yeah, so that we worship. There's a dirt floor, and we bought plastic chairs, but our church is a dirt floor, and
God bless you. That's all I can say.
Yes,
I think the world needs a lot more people like you because you obviously give so much of yourself for others.
Yes.
And sometimes that is very difficult to do because we get so locked into ourselves and we get focused on our own issues.
Yes.
And we don't think as much about how we can, possibly help other people. Yeah. What is your goal? We're down to 5 minutes. What is your goal now? You've got the church, you've got all these different organizations going to help people. Yeah. What are you hoping to accomplish going forward from this point?
My goal is to be able to go through the kids that we have raised, to have an exit strategy so that we don't leave them there. I want to be able to start a trade school, a vocation training center. Yes. The kids go to the well. We want to be able to build a well. That is quite expensive. But God has given me people that are very kind and are trying to support me, but I need people who would love to help. The need is great. I work with IAGM. I'm a member of IAGM. It's a missionary organization.
Yes.
And Pastor Tom Powell up in Seattle with Living Grace Church. So my goal is to continue to seek partners, to seek friends, and seek people who can come together with a collaborative effort so that we can achieve more. As
Americans, constantly we have these flashes going across television showing us kids that look like they're starving.
Yeah.
And there are these different organizations trying to ask people to appeal to our conscience
Yes.
and our pocketbooks to
Yeah,
help.
yeah.
And a lot of people are hesitant because they're not quite sure where the money goes.
Yeah.
How many of these ministries that you think we see on TV are really truly doing for their communities like you are?
Yeah, I think most of them are trying. I don't want to be on their bad books.
Is that a bad question?
Yeah, it's a bad question. They were
Right.
yeah, what are you doing?
Because I think people worry that maybe when they're sending the money, it's not really going where they're
The challenge
intending
we
it.
have is that we have those big name organizations,
Right.
and everybody wants to give to them because they will get a tax return. They have confidence in them, but they can also do so much. The need is great. So if there is an opportunity for somebody to come alongside people like us and go forward, we can do quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
So we're down to 2 minutes.
Yes.
What do you want to leave with the viewers?
I want to tell a viewer, seeing me, a young man, a young woman, an adult, going through a crossroad. I want to say it is not the end of the Lord. It's not the end of life. There is greatness in you. Change your mindset. Start believing in you. You can do it. You can achieve it. You can come out of there and you can. I will leave with you this verse. It's a very beautiful verse. 2 Corinthians 1, verse 3 and 4. I paraphrase that God is the God of all comfort. He comes alongside us. The Greek say is paraclete. God coming alongside us to comfort us through our tribulation. And while we have been comforted, so that we may be able and comfort others. So don't let those lies kill you. You are more than that. You can do it.
Well, thank you so very much. I am very inspired by you. Part of why I do this is because I love to share stories like yours. I like to hear them and share them.
Yeah.
And so I thank you so much for being the person of courage and excellence that you are. And my hope is that you will continue to change, inspire, and make a difference in people's lives. So thank you for watching the Jenny Lynn Show. And I'm hoping, once again, that you will learn something, or something that was said today will strike a chord in you if you have any doubts about your life and what you can do with it. So again, thank you for watching the Jenny Lynn Show.